Let me see here. Oh. Nope, that's not it. Hang on. That looks good. Trying to get this on the computer. Nope. Oh wait, there it is. That's it, right there. Oh wait. Oh, no, we don't want that. Function. We'll just get rid of that. Yes. Yes, I'm on. I am alive. How are you? Usruff, actually, Usruff. Is it working? Or did you look? Oh, he sees something he doesn't like. What? Oh, okay.
I'm just changing your color a little. You're a little red.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, a little bit
Better? Okay. Have you been, Usruff? Hopefully you guys can hear me. If you can't, Wesley's gonna let me know soon, so. Going through massive height. Okay, cool. I went through a similar scenario with the Algerian ivy I had. I had a non-variegated one and I had a variegated one, and they were both doing great. And then over the summer when we started this home renovation project, those ivies did not do very well. So I tried to propagate them and the props took and everything, but it's just, I just didn't get around to it. So I feel your pain. Hi, Leafier. It's good to see you. I think you had sent me a comment, maybe last night. I haven't checked my comments the past couple of days, but I spent some time getting caught up on them over the weekend. So it was nice kind of getting to see that people were still, watching the videos and everything. And I think, what is today? Today's Tuesday. I'm gonna film a video either tomorrow or Thursday, so we can have something up for Friday. And yeah, how have you been, Leaf? How's everything in your world as far as plants go, or just in general? That's working perfect. I can't tell if I'm lagging or if it's just this laptop. I'm probably fine. I think Christian he was going to show up. I don't remember if he actually said he was or not. I know that I know he saw my last short though, so I think he knows. Because I have something to show him and Dragonite if Dragonite shows up as well. Because there was a specific thing that we did during the home renovation that that they will find amusing, I think. Uh, yeah, so I don't know, the whole Walmart thing, I don't really know what's going on. I went to another store today and they didn't really have very many plants either. I don't know if Walmart is getting out of the game, kind of, like not being so heavily involved in it. Because basically pre-COVID, we didn't really have a set area for houseplants. Like we would get the occasional shipment and then we would make a place for it. It was never a set thing where we got regular shipments. It was just kind of whenever. So I don't know if they're just gonna go back to that or if this is only a temporary thing that's happening over the winter time. But some people are always like, oh, well, it's not houseplant season. And I'm like, it's always houseplant season. Like, houseplants are always in season. Like, they stay in your house. Like, that's just how it is. But yeah, I don't know. If I find anything else out though about it, I'll let you guys know. But so far, that's kind of where we're at. I mean, I go to Lowe's sometimes, and they're still getting big shipments. And I've seen some interesting plants at different Lowe's in like other cities that are, more unique, like trending tropical plants from Costa. But I don't know. I don't really know how their side of it's doing because I don't know anybody that works at Lowe's. But um, okay. Sort of, I don't know. Like, I don't work in the garden center anymore at my job, but I know, like, I still kind of keep an eye on it. And I have noticed that because we keep getting the same stuff over and over and over, like, I think that the interest has gone down. So, for example, in my short, I mentioned the Majesty Palms. Majesty Palms are just not that popular. Like around Easter, we sell a decent amount of them because of the holiday, but it's just not something that does very well indoors. And
You're laggy.
I'm laggy. Okay, Wes says I'm laggy.
It's because you're hooked up to the extenders and not to the.
Okay, let me fix this internet thing real quick. There. Okay. Let me know when it comes back.
It's like.
Like you can't understand what I'm saying?
Well, no, I could mostly, but it was real jittery. You're fine now.
Okay. Okay, I think we're good now. So we have an extender for the living room because our router doesn't reach down this far into the living room. So hopefully the signal's a little better now. I hooked up to the extender. It's really annoying. No, anyway, sorry. So what we were talking about was that Walmart has been getting like the same plants over and over and over. Like we keep getting shipped the same things. At one point, I had like 40 Raven ZZs. Nobody cares. Like it's just Raven ZZs are just something that were hot. They were hot for a minute, and then like everybody had one, so it just doesn't. Why do we still have so many? Or begonia maculatas. There was a crap ton of those. Like, stop sending us the same old stuff. Send us new stuff. Costa Farms is coming out with new stuff all the time. That's the stuff we need to be getting so that people don't lose interest in shopping at Walmart for plants. But I don't know. What do I know? I guess I'm just nobody. But from what I've heard, Target, Lowe's. Oh, okay. Well, Leafier, if you feel like the other big box retailers are having issues too, then there's a chance that, I mean, maybe just the market in general, because interest in houseplants has waxed and waned over time. It was really big, I think, in like the 60s and 70s, and then like people kind of lost interest. And even when I was a kid, this would have been in the 90s. Like I remember going to like friends' houses and they wouldn't have any plants. Like it just didn't seem like very many people had house plants. My mom did, of course, but like I don't know. So I don't know. And then COVID hit, and house plants were ridiculously popular. And now I don't know. It could have something to do with increase in prices. It could just be that maybe people are satisfied with what they have, like me, kind of. Uh, I could probably say I have maybe one wish list plant, maybe two. There's just not really that much I'm looking for personally right now because I'm to the point where I just don't want to spend as much time watering. That's kind of where I'm at. That's rough. Yeah, no stutter. If I have a stutter, it's in Spanish because I can't speak it very well yet. Yeah, the only the only place I've seen really like different things would be at greenhouses that that don't go through like the biggest distributors. Does that make sense? Like Walmart and Lowe's have licensing with Costa Farms, which is fine, but like some of the other greenhouses, they get their plants from like wholesalers and things like that. I mean, is Costa Farms technically a wholesaler? I'm not really sure, but they have the ability to order from like a list of hundreds of plants, so they kind of have more control over their inventory. That's why if you go to a greenhouse, especially like a bigger greenhouse, you'll probably find all kinds of different things. Now you're gonna pay a premium price, obviously, but it's gonna be I don't know. I think it's gonna be worth it. Let's see. In Malaysia, people buy houseplants all the time, but it's a tropical country, so you can plant anything, anytime. Yeah. Yeah, that's the advantage. When you live in the tropics, you you can pretty much have any plant and keep it outside as long as it's something that doesn't need full sun. You know, you keep it on a patio or something, and it's fine all year. People do that here in the U.S., but they do it in Florida, where it doesn't really get that cold ever. So. Um, oh, Leafier, you have a friend in Trinidad. Um, that who? No, he wasn't from Trinidad. I think he was from Tobago. Where's he been? Bought an Monstera obliqua for $5. That's crazy. Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense because you're not having to ship those plants as far, basically. I mean, you know, here the only people that can grow houseplants are hundreds and hundreds of miles away, so they have to grow them special and ship them special, and I don't know. That's crazy. $5. I think Leafier and I are gonna catch a flight to Malaysia. We're gonna load up on plants and then we're gonna come back. Hmm. And actually, I I got a picture from my friend in Mexico, and there in the picture there's a tree, and I zoomed in on the picture, and it was actually a Ficus elastica, and it just kind of blew my mind a little bit because I usually associate ficuses with being in Asia, but of course, you know, if it's the right environment, you can plant them anywhere and they'll grow into a tree. So to be able to see one like in full size like that was actually kind of cool. Um, yeah. 6-inch pothos for 50 cents. Yeah, I'm sure in Malaysia they grow like weeds. Keep seeing Adansonii is mislabeled as obliqua. Well, obliqua, we're talking about the one that has the really big fenestrations. Like there's more hole than there is actual leaf. But there's another name for it. Obliqua, isn't there one that's like esquire or something? But it's basically the same plant. I didn't know if it was the same, like, you know, just it went by two names or something, but Adansonii have pretty small holes, actually. Fenestrations. Oh, I've noticed that some plants. I've got a, well, it's this one right here actually. This Syndapsis paracensis. It put off a couple of runners over the summer, and they didn't really develop any leaves on them. They were just long stalks, and I'm like, nah, we're not doing that. So I cut them off, but that's annoying when they do that. Like if you're gonna take the time to grow something, at least throw some leaves on it. Esqueleto, yeah, that's it. Because I've seen basically the same plant labeled as either Esqueleto or as Obliqua, and I always just kind of associate them. I'm sure that there's some minor difference, but no, leaf year, that looks pretty close. I'm not sure if it's the exact spelling, but that's pretty close. You know, the other thing is basically all through last year and then like the first part of this year on the channel, we were going through all of these different plants and we were talking about all of these different genera, and eventually I got through, what was it, like 114 different genera that we covered, and I haven't really found anything else except for two. I found two new ones. Maybe I'll do videos on them just because we haven't done a plant care video in a long time. But one of them was actually this one, this little succulent right here. And this is Ledaburia. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but this one is like Silver Splash or something, just because the leaves are kind of silvery looking. It just kind of popped out at me. I think I found this maybe at Walmart, just kind of in the random succulents. But it definitely looks different. It almost looks like a Tradescantia, but it's not. I don't know if it's in the same order as Tradescantia. I should probably find that out. But maybe if somebody's in front of their computer, they can look that up. Ledaburia, what orders it in, because or family even. It might be in the same family as Tradescantia. Tradescantia is in Comelinaceae, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I could be. Actually, I guess I can just pull up another tab here. If somebody doesn't beat me to it. Ledaburia, there it is. And let's see, where would that be? Well, of course it's not. A lot of time, oh, there it is, okay. Okay, this is gonna tell us right now. Ledaburia is in Asparagaceae. Okay, so it's in the asparagus family, which is in the order Asparagales. Okay. Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that, but that's okay. But I mean, Asparagaceae has quite a few succulents in it, actually. And I don't know if that's gonna flower. I kind of hope it does. It'd be cool if it did. But most of the time, I'm not really that impressed with succulent flowers. A lot of times they're just very, I don't know, slender, and they're there for a couple of days and then they're gone, but I don't know. I also had, I had a pretty big Kalanchoe, like the mother of millions, and I got rid of it. I gave it to somebody, and then I kept some of the cut, or the babies, like the pups, and then the pups got big, and they got big enough that I gave those to a friend, and I kept a couple of them, and now this is what I've got so far. I think I've got 4 plants in there, it looks like. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I've got 5. And the one back here is a different one. This one actually has like spots on it. And these 3 are the same. And I don't know if you guys can see, but they already have pups on them. Like they already have more baby plants. So it's kind of crazy how fast these things can reproduce. I'm sure in the wild they are weeds. Yeah. Picking up pups from everywhere. Yeah. 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 You can't really put them around other plants because then the pups fall off into the other plants, and then you've got mother of millions growing in these other plant pots, and they can take a fairly decent amount of light. Like I have my grow light actually kind of fell because the sticky part wasn't holding. It fell on top of this pot, so they've been getting like really direct, crazy direct light. That's why they're so purple, but they're growing fast, I think, because of it. And yeah, I think if I took them away from the light for a little bit, they would revert a little more to the green. But I don't know, they're kind of cool when they're purple like that. Yeah, plants that self-prop like that, it's just crazy. Yeah. Leaves, thorns, and flowers. Thank you. Welcome to the chat. Welcome back to the chat, I should say. Good to see you. One leaf can have like 20 pups. 20 pups on one leaf. And each plant, especially when they get bigger, the reason I end up getting rid of them is because the plants get so top heavy that they won't stand up on their own because they're just so, the leaves are so thick and full of water that they just sort of start to, I don't know how they grow in the wild without falling over, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. We're gonna have to heckle Christian for not being here and Dragonite Spam because okay, Usrup, thank you. Okay, so then you already noticed I did get rid of the curtains. That was one of the things we did. I'll show you guys the full setup here in like 20 minutes or so, just in case those guys show up. But yes, the curtains are gone. And actually what they are, they're just kind of like soft panels, like individual panels that you can kind of push aside with the stick. Because I don't know if you guys have ever looked at getting new curtains, but it's extremely expensive. The quote that we got to put up new curtains was like $4,200. And it wasn't like these were the nicest curtains either. It was more just about the installation and just the amount of material it takes. It just, I don't know. I was not about to spend that much money. So each of these sets, panel sets, were like $100. It wasn't that expensive at all, and they look pretty good. Actually, they fit the room pretty well. And it does not look like a funeral home anymore. What I should have done is boxed them up because I had 2 sets of curtains. Send one to Dragonite and I'll send one to Christian. New plants. So the newest plants I've gotten recently would be that Lediboria, like this little succulent. I found this probably 3 weeks ago. And I also got this palm back here is, if I can get it to lean, this is actually called a bottle palm, and the genus is like Hyophobia, I think. It's kind of unique because if you can see the color of like the bottoms of the leaves, like basically the stems, it's this kind of beautiful red color, and the leaves themselves, if you can kind of hear, they have that fake sound. So far, if if I can get it to stand up. So far, I'm impressed with it. Like it's been maybe a month or two since I got it, and I haven't lost any fronds. I had a little bit of browning on one like leaf that I had to cut off because I think in the shop they had it like sitting against the window, and I think those leaves got cooked on the glass possibly. But no, I love it. I'm excited to see what it's gonna do. Definitely a slow grower, like most bigger palms like that are. They grow very slowly. It does. It does have a trunk, kind of. Trying to support this thing here. So like the soil, well, you can see where the pot is, but yeah, it's got a pretty hefty, like solid trunk on it. I've been watering it whenever it dries out, and I do have it in a ceramic pot. Because I've noticed the more that I've worked with palms, the more I feel like they prefer like ceramic or plastic over terracotta. And I'm not saying it's that way with every palm because my Camadoria is still in a ceramic pot, or I'm sorry, a terracotta pot, and it's fine. It's actually right here, and it's getting quite big. This is the Camadoria metallica, probably one of the more unique Camadoria species, just because of the shapes of the leaves. But I also have still a flower on it. It did flower kind of over the summer, but oh, if I can get that back on there. I'm trying to think of what else new I may have gotten. I kind of was on an Aglaonema kick for a minute where I was finding these really uniquely colored like Aglaonemas, and some of the ones that have the more silver and green variegation, I don't know, those really speak to me for some reason instead of the reds and the pinks. I never really got into that. You almost killed your Hypersia. Let me look up that. Hypersia. Images. Oh, okay. Definitely something that I have not seen before. Is that something that you can just grow more in Malaysia? Like, is that more of like a popular plant in Malaysia? Digital Ghost, there's Wes. The Pictum tricolor, I like it. I like the coloring on it. I like that it kind of looks like camouflage. I probably don't have one because the only ones I ever see are very, very small, and they're not cheap either. I mean, a small 4-inch pot can be like 30 or 40 bucks depending on where you go. So it's not the most, like, I don't love it that much. If I found one that was a little bigger, maybe in like a 6 or 8-inch pot, I would maybe buy it. But I never see them that big. I don't know if they get that big. I imagine they would, but I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. Yeah, leaf year. I have my silver Maranta, and I'm thinking about giving it to a friend because it's fine. I mean, it's doing okay. It's not like dying or anything, but it has lost a lot of its interior leaves. So it's kind of like this, there's like this layer of outer leaves, and the inside is just barren. And it's flowered a couple of times, so it's fine. It's just, I don't know. I've lost interest in that. I guess I don't really want that particular one anymore. And the only fern I have, because you guys know that I'm horrible with ferns, the only one I still have is this one. This is my Asplenium. This is the same Asplenium that I had on the channel, what, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when I did the Asplenium video. And it's alive. It's still doing very well. I've got it in this nice little decorative ceramic pot, and I water it. Basically, it stays pretty moist actually in this pot. So I only really water this thing maybe once every couple of weeks because I don't want to overwater it, obviously, but it's fine. It's had some brown edges that I've cut off. You can't even really tell that I cut them off, actually. But it did get a couple of crispy edges, but it's still fine. Still very fake looking, fake sounding, but I don't know. I still really like it. Yes, you can propagate them, but like, I'm not 100% sure. The thing is, I had a piece of it fall off, that silver Maranta, because it got loose or something, or it just grew in such a way that this particular piece of the plant came off. And I was able to stick it in water and it propagated just fine. And what was interesting about it is that the roots were very fibrous. They didn't look like a traditional, like let's say that you propagated a philodendron or an epipremnum, how thick and white those roots are. These were very fibrous. And I don't really understand, because there clearly are nodes on it. It's a vining plant, so there are nodes and internodes, but it's just finding them. I don't have the Maranta anywhere near me. Otherwise, I'd say that we could just like start taking it apart and seeing about it. But they're there. They're definitely there. I think if you just kind of, what you could do if you really want to prop it, take like trace one of the stems into the soil and then just kind of, tug that one little stem out, wash it off, and then stick it in water. And I bet it'll start to propagate. You know what I mean? Like, I think that you could do it. I wish I would have paid more attention about how I did mine. It was just sort of impromptu, like I didn't plan to do that. But when that piece fell off, it's like, well, I hate to throw it away. Oh, okay. Well, gracias, Diane. Yeah. I got your messages. I just haven't looked at them yet. Mi confianza con plantas es más grande que mi español, pero, that's just kind of how it goes. I've been talking about plants a lot longer than I've been speaking Spanish. But wouldn't it be cool if eventually my Spanish gets good enough that I could do a whole video in Spanish? Because that's a whole other section of, people who want to learn about plants that, Actually, guys, Damian is the friend that I was telling you about. This sent me the picture of the tree, of the rubber tree in Mexico. So I need to find like a conservatory or something that has a big tree like that. The zoo here where I live has a Ficus religiosa, which is still pretty cool. Like if you've ever seen the leaf of a religiosa, it kind of looks like a regular ficus leaf, but it kind of has this really long point on it. It's not gigantic by any means, but it has like the classic looking ficus trunk with the roots that are not quite buttress roots, but they kind of spread out along the ground like snakes. It's just, I don't know, it's just interesting to see something so different, but. Now, leaves, thorns, and flowers, I'm trying to remember. I want to say, I can't remember where you said you're from, but I thought it wasn't from here though. Also, if you guys remember any plants that I've talked about and you want to check up on them, because I know some people like to see how certain plants I've had are doing. I know Christian had a few that he was like, oh, tell me about how this one's doing at some point, and I'm like, okay, cool. In my neighborhood, there was a huge ficus taniki. Really? That would be cool. Does it have a lot of variegation on it, like the white variegation? I bet that's really beautiful. I love ficus taniki, but the problem I have with it as an indoor plant is I've noticed that the white on it, like the white variegation, will start to get brown spots a lot if you're not doing just the right thing. So I don't know. I love it, but I know that I shouldn't have one in my house. Puerto Rico, okay. Puerto Rico. I'm purposely attacking bad lighting for elongated trunk. Aesthetic interior design look. I think people have done that with Ficus lyrata. I feel like they've purposefully like warped them to where they're more like structural, like aesthetically different than like the typical Ficus lyrata, which kind of just becomes very tree-like, especially if you prune it that way. Um, and there's my brother being a smart butt. If you don't talk on the telephone soon, I'm going Danyo. Danyo. I'm going. Oh man. What is Danyo? Dang it. Damian, if you're still here, translate. The true now is Ficus umbellata. Oh, yes. Ficus umbellata. Ficus umbellata is. I don't like it. And maybe certain people can do fine with it. For those of you who don't know, Ficus umbellata is a ficus, but it has really big round leaves that are gorgeous, but they're paper thin. And so ficuses already are a little finicky as plants because they don't really like to be moved a lot. They really like certain humidity levels sometimes. And Ficus umbellata is just one of those plants that if you're not watering it regularly, if you're not giving it proper humidity, you're gonna lose those leaves just because they're so thin. But I have seen them more in stores kind of recently, but yeah. And then Dragonite's here. I definitely did not forget what day of the week is until about 5 seconds ago. Hopefully you're doing well, Dragonite. We were talking about you a little earlier because I'm like, where is Dragonite? I don't think it's wrong. I just don't know what that word means. If we don't talk on the phone soon. Well, anyway. No, you're not in trouble. You're not in trouble. But I just wanted you to look at. Oh, that's right. That's what that meant. If you don't talk on the phone, I'll hurt you soon. Yes, my brother and I have been trying to have a phone call for, oh, I don't know, a couple of weeks, and we can't seem to track each other down. But yes. So Dragonite, if you want to take a look, actually, if everybody wants to take a look, the funeral home curtains are gone. I got rid of them. They are not there anymore. No more golden drapes that look like a funeral home. We actually did a lot of different changes over here. So, yeah, it's been an adventure. And that is part of the reason why I have not been here, is because we had, at any given moment, there were painters, electricians, plumbers, just all kinds of people just coming in and out of the house, having to wake up early to like make these appointments and still go to work. And it was just a lot. So it definitely kept me busy over the summer, but thankfully that's done. We're really pleased with how everything turned out. So yeah. My advice called and they need their wardrobe back on set. Okay, yes, love you. I can call you after this. Like, we're probably gonna stop around 10, but yes, Ashraf, I still have the brown beams. Oh my gosh. I don't think they look 80s. I think they look in this space. I don't think they look retro. I think they fit this space well. So I wasn't gonna paint them or try to, I think they look good. But the drapes definitely had to go. The drapes were dated and old and heavy. Oh my gosh. There were spiders living in them. And thank you, Leaf. I was explaining earlier, they weren't that expensive, so much cheaper than installing actual curtains, which was quite expensive. Yes, Wes did all of the labor with installing these. I mean, a lot of what you pay for with remodel is labor. And there's certain things that obviously you don't want to do yourself. You probably don't want to do electrical work yourself. You probably don't want to do plumbing yourself because it takes certain things that you don't want to F up, because it's going to be more expensive to fix it. So, but something like installing curtains, it's really not that bad. Yes, Ashraf, Christian hated the curtains, and I don't think he liked the beams either, but that's okay because he doesn't have to live here. Spiders are better than spider mites. I had my first battle with them a while back. I don't know, Leaf here. I mean, I don't mind spiders, but the spiders that we get are brown recluse spiders, and they can, if you're like really allergic, they can cause like skin necrosis and things. They're one of the more venomous spiders in the United States. Not super fun, but the spider mites are easy. Like I just stick that plant under the sink, spray the crap out of it, throw some insecticide on it, done. I've had more trouble with mealybugs recently, and only on my cacti, and only on certain cacti. So I don't know. Mealybugs. There's a cactus over there right now that I know has them. So that thing is, I'm getting rid of it. I'm done with it. I don't want any more mealybugs. Yeah, yeah, Dragonite Christian. For a minute, like I don't remember if it was like May or June, but like we had that one stream, and I was like, I feel like I'm being attacked right now. Like he did not like anything. Yeah, yeah. Electrical work is definitely not like I put the outlet covers on. We bought new outlet covers, so it wasn't like the old 70s and 80s, ivory colored outlet covers. And even that, I was nervous. I was like, oh, I hope the screwdriver doesn't slip into the outlet or something and shock me. Jumping spiders. Jumping spiders are amazing creatures. Jumping spiders make up about 10% of all spider species. They're super smart. They're very good hunters. They can identify the difference between something that's dead and alive, which I guess is biologically significant. And they're not sure, but they may actually be self-aware. I don't know if they figured that out yet, but there's not very many animals that are self-aware in the sense of like knowing that they're going to die, knowing that they are alive, that kind of thing. Sorry, plant channel, but I know a bit about animal biology too. Barn spiders are cool too, though. Yeah, terracotta. And Dragonite, I actually did convert a few things over to ceramic or plastic. We were talking a bit earlier about it. Like most of my palms now are in ceramic. My strelitzia, um, my orange strelitzia is in plastic because I felt like they were drying out a little too fast, and having to water them so much was getting a little taxing just because the pots are so big. But anyway, I still do have more terracotta than anything else. Uh, did I tell you I currently have a peace lily in a terracotta pot? Surprisingly, it's not dead, although it does have to be watered about 5 times a week. Well, now you're just being now you're just being reckless. Like putting a peace lily. I can't even keep a peace lily alive in a plastic pot. I don't know why those things don't like me. They're supposed to be one of the easier plants to take care of. Never had luck with a peace lily. And I've tried the regular one, I've tried the domino, which I love the leaves and the variegation on a domino peace lily, but it's just, I don't know. They always end up disintegrating. And you guys know I underwater, but this isn't like an underwatering issue. Like I would keep the soil pretty evenly moist, and it's still, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Could have been a humidity thing. What else do we got? Do jumping spiders pass the mirror test? That would be the only way I could think they would be more adorable. I think they do. I think they do pass the mirror test. I thought I saw a video of that, of a jumping spider in front of a mirror. I could be wrong, but I thought they do pass the mirror test. Aeroids are good in terracotta. Generally, yes, Ashraf, I agree. In general, aeroids are good in terracotta, but there are a couple of exceptions. Schismatic glottis is coming to mind because schismatic glottis dries out so fast. It needs to be kept like pretty moist. And then apoballus is another one that doesn't really do well in terracotta because you have to water it. You have to keep it watered. But other than that, all the other aeroids, philodendron, epipremnum, the whole big list do great in terracotta. Just because they like to dry out. What else? What else? What else? Well, I mean, if it's the only pot you had for that peace lily, what are you gonna do? Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like when you repot a peace lily, or if you do anything to it that it doesn't like, it just sort of is like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit in the corner and just like fume and start losing leaves and stuff. Like, I don't know, they're kind of temperamental. Oh, really, Leafy? That's interesting that it's that dry that even, oh, well, West Texas, of course. Yeah, especially if the cactus or succulent, well, succulents especially, but like cacti, if they're smaller, they can't withstand that kind of dryness and heat for too long because they'll just turn into a raisin. But yeah, once a cactus is more established, and especially if it's grown up outside, but like the cacti that we buy in greenhouses, they don't know what it's like to grow up outside. They've been kind of pampered their whole life. Yeah, yeah, peace lilies are the teenagers. Although there are some fussy plants. There are plenty of fussy plants that could maybe go into that category, but I don't know. I've never been approached by somebody that's like, "Oh, I'm a peace lily enthusiast. I just love spathiphyllum and it's the best plant in the world." And I don't know. There's that person is out there, I'm sure, but I've never met them. But there are those people that are like, Hoyas, high five. I love those Hoyas. Um, Bought my first Anthurium, just a classic crystallinum. How's that going, Ashraf? It's probably going pretty well. An Anthurium out in Malaysia. The one Anthurium I did pretty well with was the one I did in my Anthurium video, which I ended up giving away. But it was the leaves were thick enough that it was a little more hardy than your typical Anthurium. I wish I could remember what it was called. I'm sure it's on the video, but Dragonite, which Ficus elastica is it? Like, what color is it? Is it like the original? Is it the burgundy with the dark black leaf? Is it the Taniki? Is it the ruby? Is it the Shiveriana? Oh, okay. The cuttings. I've never done, I've never propagated ficus. It's a little harder to get those to take off. Oh, good, Sref. I'm glad the Anthurium's doing well. And a lot of people don't know, like Dragonite, a lot of people don't know that like with the Ficus elastica, the original plant was kind of a dark, kind of hunter green color. and that's the base. That's the base plant. It's kind of hard to find. Most of the ones that you see in stores are the burgundy, which are the leaves that are almost black, like a Raven's Easy, or either of the three color variegations. But I rarely see like an original. And do I have it here? I'll grab my Ficus elastica here in a second. Yeah, a plant cabinet would be good for an anthurium. Plant cabinet would be great for ferns too, if you just have a thing for ferns. Not me. Um, one of the older strains because it's the same color as the ones you associate with old with old people and stuff. Okay. That's probably a fair statement. Let me see if I can get back here without destroying something. Wah. I'm gonna see if you guys can see this. So this is the ruby. Like technically, this is a ruby Ficus elastica. It's just a little more subdued. There's not as much pink and red in this one, which is why I bought it, because I kind of like how this color of green looks. And you can kind of see that on the leaf, it does have pink margins, but it's just not as blown out as some of the ones that you see in the stores. And like I said, I bought it for that. But also, there is a leaf on here someplace. There it is. There's a leaf on here that is half and half. So you can see this half, you can see this half is the original ficus, and then this half is the variegation. So I've never seen one that has had a half and half leaf like that, and that's why I bought this one. But I don't know. I think it has another one on here someplace, but it's a tiny, it's not too tiny, but I don't know, I like it. This one has a little more variegation on the leaf. You can see some of the pink coming through there, but I'm gonna set you right here. Dragonite, yeah, I probably could have phrased that better. Maybe. I have that ruby 6 feet now after 3 years. That's crazy. Dragonite, if you're talking about the Taniki, the one that has like the white edges, the variegation, I don't like that one because the white part goes brown, like it starts to get brown spots and stuff. They're beautiful plants though. The Shiveriana, the one that's like yellow that has like the green spots on it, like it's speckled, that one's not too bad. I had decent luck with that one. Who did I give that to? I gave that to somebody. Maybe I sold it to somebody. Variegated fiddle leaf figs will drop leaves if someone says something mean about it in another room. Oh, well, I mean, you can't even, the fact that you even said that, it's gonna make one of them drop a leaf someplace in the world. Variegated fiddle leaf figs have not hit the mainstream market for a reason. Their variegation is very unstable and they are very finicky. And fiddle leaf figs are already not the easiest plants to take care of, so making it variegated is just like, just asking for trouble. But the interesting thing is the variegated Ficus benjamina is just as forgiving, in my opinion, as a regular Ficus benjamina. It's almost like that particular species for some reason takes to variegation better. I don't know how to explain that really, but and you have a couple of different color variations too with it. I just have the one that has the really thick white margins, but yeah. Sorry to whoever's fiddle leaf I just killed. Yeah. So how do I say this? If we're talking big box stores, I never see Ficus benjamina, except sometimes at Home Depot. Occasionally Home Depot will have one in like a 6-inch pot, And yeah, but if you want a Ficus benjamina, you almost have to go to a greenhouse, like an actual where they can make their own orders greenhouse. And the reason that they do that is kind of like why you probably don't see a lot of Scheffleras, specifically Schefflera arbicola or whatever it is, the little leaf one, um, because they drop leaves so easily. They wouldn't do well in the retail environment. But I don't know if they're going out of style. I mean, Ficus benjamina is still an amazing plant if you can take care of it. I'm thinking about grabbing mine because it's just over there looking so sexy, so I kind of want to grab it. Let me move my Raphis. Also, my Raphis palm is still alive too, which I'm very happy about. I have to give it a haircut occasionally, like cut the brown tips off, but other than that, she's doing really well. I just love that palm. I love the shape of it. Even when it was doing bad, I'm like, I cannot get rid of this palm because I love it and I got a pretty good deal on it. So let me grab that ficus. I'm gonna move this here and wow. So it's gotten fairly large. I think this variegation style is called Starlight. It might actually go by something else, but you can see that the edges have a nice thick white margin on them. And the green is a little bit lighter. Another one that you might see is one that has kind of a yellow-green edge to it. And then there's another one that has straight up like mottled variegation. I think it's called El Dorado or something. But yeah, this one, it's doing pretty well. We're gonna leave that right there. My mom grew Benjaminas when I was a kid. They look so gorgeous. Yeah. My mom had a huge Ficus benjamina, and I think in one of my videos, I actually showed you guys a picture of it. It was gigantic, and she had one like this too. That was a little bushier, because the interesting thing about benjamina is that you can kind of grow it like a tree, but if you want to keep it bushy, it'll stay that way too. So it's always going to mean a little more to me. I have more ficuses than any other plant. I think I have 7 different species of ficus. But yeah. And Asraf, you mentioned Triangularis. That is such a cool plant, but it's actually a ficus that I don't have because I'm horrible at keeping them alive. I don't really like the variegated ones. They look really pretty, but I prefer the original non-variegated one. It's a little harder to find here, and it's really hard to find in a manageable size. A lot of the ones I see are in giant, like 10-inch pots. But yeah, it's an amazing plant just because there's not very many plants that have that triangular leaf shape. That's why I don't like benjamina. They look like an old lady's plant. It's all in the eye of the beholder. Like, I think in the right setting, but now that you say that, like the neighborhood I live in has a clubhouse, and in the clubhouse, it's very dated decor on the inside. It's like 1980s. Yeah, and there's a huge Ficus benjamina sitting in the corner. So I guess in that setting, it does look like an old lady plant. But as a general rule, I think they they bring they bring a sense of nature into the home if you can grow them, because it's very much a tree, and I don't know, it can add something to the space. But oh, people do. Yeah. Spider plants, okay, yeah. I will admit, spider plants they're a classic house plant. I don't think that they're as popular now, but I know, like, my mom had spider plants, and I'm not saying that, my mom would be an old lady. She'd only be 60 something now, but yeah, like, that is, when you think about plants from like the 80s or 70s, spider plants are in there. What else is on your list? I don't think Aglaonema are old plants. Aglaonema have so many different styles now, so many different patterns. I think they've kept up with the times a lot better. African violets, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people grew African violets. Dieffenbachias, I think Dieffenbachias have tanked because Dieffenbachias are so toxic and they're not really that easy to take care of. I don't think anybody, again, I've never had somebody be like, oh, I'm a Dieffenbachia fan. F yeah, let's do it. Um, what else? Peace lilies, yeah. Jade plant. Well, jade plant, the original jade plant, yes, but Crassula as a genus has a lot more species in it now than it did back then. Of course, my Crassula that I have is my string of buttons, which I'll grab here in a second. And it's about ready to be repotted because it's getting out of control. But Leafier is ready for the old lady title. She's ready for it. Your Benjamina fits the brown beam. Thanks, Usruff. I appreciate that. It fits the decor. Elastica situated in front of a gaudy Victorian wallpaper or something like that. Oh, I think I might have been what Ahmad was imagining also. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I see it. I don't know if I see it with ficus. There's definitely some plants that I could see in front of that setting. I don't know. When I think Victorian, I think like Chamaedoria, like the original Chamaedoria elegans, just because they did grow those, or even like Nephrolepis ferns. Nephrolepis ferns seem old to me because it's just like the original houseplant fern, like, right? Yeah, there you go. See, Dragonite said it, parlor palms. Chamaedoria elegans. Pink variegation reverted to all green. Yeah, they do that, leaf year. They do revert sometimes. Yeah, well, the thing about the mini pineapple plant, yeah. Well, you could call a sago palm a mini pineapple almost, but I know the kind you're talking about. The kind you're talking about is actually a bromeliad. Um, and Victorians love parlor palms because they were easy to take care of, and there's no palm trees in the UK, so I don't know. It was a cool way to bring something exotic from the New World, something that they could have. Same with like orange, like trees and citrus trees. But we're forgetting another one that was kind of popular, like aspidistra, like the cast iron plant, was something that can stand up to low light, pollution, drying out. Like, I'm surprised that aspidistra is not more popular. I mean, I guess if you look at it, maybe it's a little plain, but I don't know. Mine's still doing very well. Like, um, let me switch out. Let me switch out the Elastica with the aspidistra. Grab this. All right. Here's that crassula I was just talking about. Crassula, I don't remember the species, you guys. Perforata, maybe? Yeah, it's gotten way out of control. It looks like it should be like, there should be like a Medusa face on this, right? These are starting to look like snakes off of Medusa, but yeah. And the way I have it so close to the grow light, it's gotten very pink tips on it, which is what they do kind of to protect themselves from that intense light. It doesn't hurt them by any means, but it's just kind of an added little bonus. Let me catch up on these comments. I'm gonna come back to the plants outside thing in just a sec because I do want to talk about that. I think Aspidistra did used to be really popular, but they haven't really been able to do anything new with it. And the only species that we have is Aspidistra elater or whatever. So you have like the cast iron plant that's the Milky Way that has the spots, and then you have the original green one, and then there's a variegated one that has stripes, but it reverts really easily. So I don't know, maybe that's why it fell out of style. But I mean, this one is really big, and it's in a pretty good sized pot, and it's gotten very tall. One of the better investments I've made, I think, because I do actually love it, but yeah. Oh. A greenhouse would be nice, although I feel like it'd be a lot of maintenance, like having a pool, but maybe not. Yeah, that's rough. I mean, in actually, in nature, Aspidistra is just kind of a tall weed. It's just a tall weed that doesn't grow in the U.S. So here we look at them as houseplants that are a little more exotic because they can't grow outside. And then, kind of going back to what Dragonite was saying about plants being outside, me personally, I had about 9 plants outside. For me, I'm very picky about what I put out there. Some people are like, screw it, I'm gonna throw them all out there. But I really only put out ones like palms, bigger ficuses, citrus. I've got like a blood orange tree out there right now. I've got a lemon tree out there right now. My Livistonia palm is out there right now. And my Ficus Ali, which is kind of a Ficus benjamina that has really elongated leaves because it's big. I had a Strelitzia out there, but I sold it. I had a big Yucca out there. I sold that. There was what else was out there? Something else was out there, but I got rid of it. So right now, where I'm at in the U.S., it's still pretty warm. Like we're still having 80-degree days, and you know, maybe it'll cool off soon in a week or two. But I haven't brought anything in yet because it's still staying above 60 degrees at night, so I haven't felt the need to. And because my lemon has 3 lemons on it, and they're so close to being ready to pick, and I'm just trying to keep them out there long enough that it can finish fruiting. But yeah. I'll have to bring one of my tree space recycling comes into us. Yeah. Mimosa pudica, and there's a million. Oh wait, is mimosa, is the one you're talking about, Asraf, is that the one that has the little pink flower? Or is it the sensitive plant? Because I think sensitive plant is mimosa. We have mimosa trees, but I don't think they're related. And actually mimosa trees do get a really fluffy pink flower. Maybe they are related. I'd have to look that up. Okay, so it is the sensitive plant. I've had one. I had one 8 or 9 years ago. I wasn't really impressed by it. I mean, the novelty of the leaves closing like loses its appeal pretty quick. And mimosa as a house plant is a little more difficult to take care of. And they don't really get big or anything, but again, definitely a weed type of plant. Yeah, actually, if anybody's watching and you do have a mimosa as a house plant, try to refrain from touching it too much because it actually does use like the plant's energy to do that, and it's not really good to do that too much to it. It's crazy. This was just one that Wes picked out, and I just can't believe how big it got. It's crazy. Oh, look, a piece fell off. Now we can propagate it. Maybe. Actually, I don't know if this would propagate very well. It might. What's a plant that you guys either think I have or remember me having and would like to see? We'll see how it's doing. We'll see how it's faring, if I still have it. Because I don't know, I mean, obviously you guys watched my last couple of shorts, but I'm down to like 40 plants. Down from probably when I was making those plant care videos last year, I had probably about 115. I think I was up to 115, maybe 120. Um, so yeah, it was a lot, a lot. I've cut back a lot just because over time it becomes too much to care for and water. And the ones I've kept, I really, really love. So, trusting is considered weed by lots of people. Yeah, leaf. Yeah, Tradescantia. In the wild, I imagine it just grows crazy. Because even in an indoor setting, a piece breaks off and it's a brand new plant. Like it's such a fast propagator, and the way it spreads out and everything. So Asraf said the Syndapsis trebui. Move this. I've got that right here. And it's still big. It's still big. It's still extremely long. It's going like all the way down. So it's still doing really well. It's kind of off center in the pot. Eventually I'll fix that, but yeah, no, it's still here. Let's see if I can squeeze through here. And if anybody watching doesn't know, this Syndapsis is actually the dark form of the trebui. One of the ones you see a lot is the Moonlight, which has silver leaves. Dark form's a little harder to find. I don't know why, but it just, somehow I got lucky and found this one, and it just keeps growing. Like, I propagated it. I've got props over in my station, and they're ready to be planted. Syndapsis can be a little tricky to propagate, but if you give it plenty of light, it should hopefully take off. Dragonite says, trying to... Yeah, you probably have that problem if you put a lot of stuff outside and then you have to bring everything in, and it's like, where am I gonna put all this stuff? And I only have 4 plants outside, and I'm already like, where am I gonna put these so that they're still getting plenty of light? Because the tricky thing about bringing plants in is that you try not to shock them into getting a whole bunch of light and then not hardly getting any light. You kind of want to try to transition them a little bit. And when you do bring them in, keep them near a sunny window so that they're not like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Especially if it's a plant like ficus, which I do have one ficus out there, and I'm gonna have to be very careful how I bring that back in. If I can not hit my table. Let me see here. I just don't know. Oh, it's just all tangled up. That's crazy. I mean, here's like the bottom. Here's like the bottom of the vines finally. Like it's just, there's just so much. It's just insane. Let me see here. We got snake, the snake plant. And Chiflera, that plant is almost. Oh, well, you know, props to you for keeping a Chiflera alive. What is it called now? Heptapleura or something? But yeah, Chiflera's, I don't know. That's one of those plants that a lot of people used to have, and I don't know, they're just not that easy to take care of. I'm thinking of getting an orchid. I don't know. My friend just bought me an orchid. He went to Chicago and brought me back an orchid in a cloche. And I don't know if he's watching. Hopefully he's not. But, like, it is not going to make it. No way. Just because orchids, I don't know. If you can master how to take care of certain orchids, amazing. It's such a gratifying thing to be able to get them to flower. But I just don't have the time or the patience. Yeah, leaf year. Syndapsis is like the advanced level of epiprimnum, because obviously they are very closely related. They're both aeroids, but Syndapsis grows a lot slower, and it appreciates consistent light and consistent watering a little bit more. So in the retail setting, they don't get watered consistently enough. That's why they always look like crap. Especially the Trebui moonlights. They just don't do very well. It's another one that wasn't doing great for a while, but seemed. Which, out of curiosity, Asraf, which Schefflera do you have? There's the Arbicola or whatever that has like the littler leaves, and then there's the actinophyllum that has the really big, like rich green leaves. Okay, yeah. And that's like the classic house plant. When you think of Schefflera or Heptapleura or whatever it is now, that's the one you think of. Really, with Scheffleras, it's all about consistency. I mean, and not just Scheffleras, but any plant that is in that family that's escaping me. Why can't I think of the name? We did a whole video on that family. The starts with an S. Somebody say it. It's quiz time. What family is Schefflera in? And Hedera and Plurendra and Fatsia. Or no, maybe it's an A. Somebody think of it. Somebody say it. What is it? Why can't I think of that freaking word? I know, that's what I'm saying. Like now we're in like plant jeopardy. Not the aeroids, damn it. It starts with an A. I promise it starts with an A. Okay, you guys are gonna make me look it up. I'm gonna look it up. Let's see. Hedera. Araliaceae, thank you, Dragonite. The Aralias. Plants in Araliaceae like consistency. They don't want to be watered, irregularly. They don't want irregular lighting. They just need that consistency because they're really prone to getting spider mites. And if you let them dry out for too long, they're going to lose leaves. They're going to get spider mites. It's just this whole big drama. So I always say that Aralia plants are like level 2. Like, if most house plants that are easy, like aeroids, are level 1, aeroids are just, or I'm sorry, Aralias are above that. And Ashraf says, I only remember your videos by the hairstyle, not the content. That is so true. Because when I go through, because I just do random stuff with my hair. Like I'll keep it the same for maybe like 3 months and then I'll just do something completely different. Because why not? Like here we are. We're living life and we have hair and it's growing. Why not be adventurous? So for you guys that have been around for a while, you know that I went through a phase of probably about 3 months where I actually had my hair permed, and it was this really big, like, I don't know, it looked good at first. Somebody said that the perm was iconic, but I don't know. It was something different. And then I did the comb over for a while. I had the really like longer hair, but I combed it over. I don't know. Also known as the, I don't know how to spell this genus. Yeah. Yeah, or family, yeah. Yeah, so then, I mean, sorry, it sounds like you've kind of got it figured out, like as far as like care goes for that, because and the thing is, like my mom did too. She had a really big Schefflera umbrella tree, I guess. She always called it by its regular name, but yeah. I always remember it always looked good. I don't know how she did it. And it was probably in a 12-inch pot too. The thing was massive. New video, take all of the 100 odd plants you covered alphabetically, put them in a tier list based on how easy they are not to kill. Oof. That would be a good video. That would be a long video. I'd have to sit and really think about it because the thing is, like, some things can be grouped together. Like some of those videos I made because I wanted to have more videos out there. But if you think about the different genera of cacti that we covered, all of those have basically the exact same care. Like whether it's Mammillaria, Stetsonia, Cereus, Opuntia, like they're all basically the same care. But you know, if somebody is new to plants and they get on YouTube and they're searching for an Opuntia, like I don't want to just have a general cactus care video. Like I want to personalize it for them so that, you know, but yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to kind of rank that. So I don't know. I'll think about that. I'll figure out how I can do that. I'd still like to do a plant tour video too. Like you guys haven't seen all the plants I have. I mean, I guess you have technically, but I think that you guys will see what I chose to keep and you can kind of see what I like, but, yeah, really, by their mailbox? That's crazy. Well, that's one way to keep the mailman away. You grab the fruit off of it? Yeah, I imagine Opuntia, almost every species that I can think of Opuntia has microscopic spines that are really hard to get out. Once you grab it or get some in there, that you have to have like a magnifying glass. They're so small. That's crazy. I have a Cylindropuntia. I think I'm gonna give it to my friend because it's starting to get really like leggy. I'm not really liking how it's growing. So I don't know if I'll replace it or not with like a more traditional Opuntia. I don't think I will. I'm not a huge Opuntia fan. And then yeah, so if you're right about like, you know, we're generalizing when we call something a beginner plant. Normally we call it a beginner plant based on like how much light it needs or how much watering it needs. But if you're somebody that likes to water a lot, you know, a calathea could be a beginner plant for you because you're going to keep it evenly moist, which is what it wants, as opposed to a lot of people who, when they first get started, you know, maybe they are a little neglectful, so something like a cactus or an epipremnum is better for them. But I have a friend who lives in Argentina, and I talked him into buying his first plant, and he bought an epipremnum aureum, just a regular golden pothos, and he's so tempted to water it. Like, he's just such a attentive plant parent. He's just like, I want to water it so bad. I'm like, don't do it. Like, you need to wait at least probably a week, maybe a week and a half. So yeah, it's cool too. He's got like a light, or a halo light, like on a stick, and it's just right over it. I don't know, it looks pretty cool. He did a good job with it, considering he lives in an apartment. Yeah, Dragonite, big spine cacti, like a Stetsonia that has those really long spines. Those are easy because you know just what to avoid. They're not camouflaged at all. No sane person would try to barehand a echinocactus. Yeah. Yeah, you're like, oh, this doesn't look that bad. And actually, I'll grab my cactus planter. I have a unique cactus. I don't know what it is, but it has microscopic spines on it that I didn't even know were there until I went to plant the thing. And then I grabbed it and I was like, F, you know what I mean? Like, it was just awful. Yes. See, that's crazy, Leaf, that you had the opportunity to go pick like a prickly pear. That's such a thing that wouldn't happen here because they wouldn't grow here. But that's awesome. I have a tiny fairy castle. What? I can't remember what the I know what a fairy castle cactus is, but I don't remember the genus. It's some sort of Sirius cactus, but it has a prefix on it. I just don't remember what it is. They're actually cool cacti. I had one for a minute. They kind of they almost look like sandcastles. Let me put this back, and then I'm gonna grab my cactus planter. Right. Wow. So you guys might be able to identify a couple of these, maybe not. See if I can get this where you can see everything. These ones here in the front, these two are Tephro-cactus, and these little things are not spines, they're just like little hairs, but the spines are like microscopic and they're at the base of these little hairs, so don't grab it. This big stabby one is Stetsonia. This one, I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like it has little warts on it. This tennis ball, or whatever it is in the back, is the one I was talking about that had like hidden spines. I don't know what it is either. This one is a nodocactus, which is pretty common. Nodocacti kind of have that round look that kind of, I don't know, they're really obvious if you just look at them. The ribbed one, if you're talking about this one, I think this one is an astrophytum of some sort, because this is the one that has mealybugs. And I've noticed as I've had different astrophytum cacti over the years, they tend to get mealybugs, and I don't know why. But it's just, I mean, maybe they think they're camouflaged because it does have white fluff on it that, mealybugs can hide in. But yeah. So yeah, these two, I'm not sure what they are. I could probably use my plant app and find out. I just haven't yet. Oh yeah, Leaf, you were around when I planted that. Yeah. I switched a couple of them out, but this is kind of the final product. This is how I'm gonna leave it. Other than I'm gonna yank this one out because I don't want mealybugs anymore. But yeah, and those, I don't know if you can kind of get a closer look at this one. It's just a really cool looking cactus. I just don't know what kind it is. But yeah, my nodocactus flowered, obviously, but it did pretty well. But yeah, some people don't like cacti, but I don't know. They're so easy to take care of, and they bring a different vibe into your collection, I guess. Which I'm looking over at my succulent rack, and the only other cacti I have a euphorbia, which is technically not a cactus, but it looks like a cactus, has spines like a cactus, and I have a really big pharaoh cactus that's about this big. Oh yes, thank you, Usruff. Acanthosirius, that is it. We did not cover Acanthosirius, but yeah. I knew there was a prefix on it. And Sirius, for anybody who doesn't know, Sirius just means that it's a column cactus. And they'll put prefixes on them just to kind of distinguish the different species. Same with Opuntia. Opuntia is gonna mean paddle cactus, like the bunny ear cacti. And Mammillaria usually means balls, like the ball-shaped cacti. And of course there's other ones obviously too, but those are the big ones. Yeah, astrophytums are bishop caps. Sometimes they only have like 4 lobes, or sometimes they have 5. I think there's only 6 species total of astrophytum. So if you wanted to collect all 6, you probably could. But there is one of them, I don't remember the species, but it does look like a bishop's cap. And it doesn't have spines. White ghost euphorbia would be cool. It's hard to find variegated cacti. I mean, they're out there, obviously, but it's not a super common thing. What else can I grab over there? I don't know why I'm showing you guys just succulents, but everybody is on it right now. So my Ripsalis is ridiculously long. I'm trying to think if we can just move this over. No, I'll just grab it. I gotta put this back anyway. Okay, so this guy is Ripsalis paradoxa. I think it's paradoxa. And it's the one that has the chain link kind of growth on it that looks like a chain link. And this particular one has gotten so long that I have to like lift it all the way up just to get it. Yeah, so I don't know. Pretty cool cactus. Well, it is a cactus. Ripsalis is technically a cactus. It was really hard to find because they're not super common, but I'm glad I finally found it. Let me get rid of this. Okay. If it's actually dead. Which one? Oh, yeah. My woman never got the rare cactus display. Yes, exactly, Leafier. It was those cacti, most of those cacti, except for I think the Stetsonia and the Noto cactus, came from the rare cacti display that a lot of Walmarts were shipped. It was just a little shipper that had like 3 shelves on it, and they were full of very exotic looking cacti species. They were a little expensive. They were about $10 each for a 2-inch pot, I think, but there were cacti species in there I've never seen before. So I think I dropped 40 bucks, maybe 50. If you were in jail, you could use that to escape out. Yeah, yeah. If I had that cactus, you could scale down it. I mean, it's on the top shelf of my rack, and it's not quite to the floor, but it'll get there before too long. I think most of my cacti came from generic cute thing with the weird straw flowers glued to it. We've talked about that. I've vented about that. I hate that they hot glue fake flowers to cacti. That is so stupid. All it does is harm the plant, and it's just so dumb. I don't know why they do that. Do you think desert cactus and jungle cactus should be separated into different families? I don't understand why they're all cacti. So you have to look at it like this. Some things are grouped together, not necessarily based on where they grow, because like sometimes they say if it grows together, it goes together. I think they say that in cooking, but like genetically, like they are the same. Like even though they grow in different places, they're still related. I don't know. It's so hard to explain. It's like if you're a white person, you know, you could be from the US, you could be from France, you could be from Germany, but we're all still like human beings, even though we're from 2 different places, growing up in 2 different environments with different stimuli and different this and different that, but we're still like at our core, we're still the same. Like, you know, I don't know if that makes sense, if that was a good analogy or not, but I don't know if they would separate them just because I think that they're just too much the same, even though their care is very different. Jungle cacti require a little bit different care. I guess Ripsalis is technically a jungle cactus, but I treat it like a succulent. But something like Christmas cactus, Schlumbergera, is going to be something that needs a little bit more moisture. They prefer to be a little bit wetter. They appreciate a little bit of humidity, but they don't need it, I guess. There was my soapbox about cactus, I guess. Yes, Dragonite. I know we've complained about it because I was pissed about it. Well, and if they glue that flower just right, um, like right on like where the growth is, like it starts to screw with the growth and like the shape of how the cactus grows. Because it's like if you, I don't know, if you like put tape around a flower that was trying to open. I'm not sure if there's a certain amount of generic similarity, but something has to be caused by something. By how their flowers or reproductive structures have. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And actually, we talked about that, I think. Like old school botanists and everything, they didn't have genetics back then, so they classified things based on their shape, based on how they look, based on their reproductive structures, like flowers was a really big deal. And the classic example of this would be um, how Epicremnum and Syndapsis were both in the pothos genus. And after they got an Epicremnum to flower and a Syndapsis to flower, they realized that they were different because Syndapsis only has, I think, one ovule in the ovary, and Epicremnum has multiple ovules in the ovary. So they weren't the same plant. Like they weren't similar enough to be in the same genus anymore. Graphic cacti, another cacti. For the cactus, I got it. Oh yeah, I've had to cut those off with scissors. The hot glue and everything. Yeah. Um. Okay, so about the moon cactus, the top part is actually a gymnocalycium cactus. You can grow gymnocalycium as a cactus by itself, but it has to be from the start. So if you pried apart a moon cactus, the top part will die because the top part doesn't have the chlorophyll it needs to survive on its own. Um, but because when you graft them together, the moon part of the cactus, the gymnocalycium, is getting its nutrients from the bottom part of the cactus, which is what species is the bottom part? If somebody can find that, I know the answer, it's in my head, but the bottom part is the green part, and that's actually where it's getting its nutrients from, so it doesn't need to photosynthesize. But I don't know how long you guys have managed to keep a moon cactus alive, but I've never had very good luck with them. The top part always seems to die eventually. But yeah, you couldn't really separate them. The green part would survive, the colorful part would die because it just, you know. And I have seen some gymnocalycium that have pink like splotches in them, like that is similar to when you see them grafted, but those are by themselves and they're able to survive because they still have that green in them. So I don't know if that helps, but yes, Epiprimitive and pothos wrongly classified. And pothos still exists. There are still plants in the pothos genus, but they are not houseplants. They're out there in the jungle someplace. A leafier, I agree. I don't really like the grafted cacti. I think it's neat that they can do it, and it's kind of a novelty gift if you want to give it to somebody. But I personally don't really care for them. But yeah, the top part is the exciting part. The pink ones, especially, are so vividly pink. I mean, there's yellow ones too, but yellow, it's not my favorite color in the world. I think there's like red ones, but the pink ones are amazing. Okay, yeah, Dragonite. See, I didn't think that they survived for too long. I feel like they're the cactus equivalent of poinsettia, which are mass produced, sold cheap, and not designed to live very long. Exactly. And I forget who was on the channel I don't know if it was during the live stream or if it was when we were talking about temporary houseplants. The poinsettias, there are some people that will swear I can keep them I can keep them alive all year, excuse me, and that's like fine. But in general, they don't survive. Like they're around for Christmas and then they're dead. And they're also toxic because they're euphorbias. But yeah. Um, bu- 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 I wonder what they graft crested euphorbia to. That's a good question. Gymnocalycium. Okay, Wes is looking it up. Find out what the bottom part is. I knew the top was Gymnocalycium, but I don't know what the bottom part is. The bottom is Gymnocalycium too? I don't know. That can't be true. I don't think the bottom is Gymnocalycium. That doesn't make any sense. It's not shaped like that. See if you can find more information. Anyway, yeah, and I've also heard with poinsettias that if you do keep them alive, they do revert to green uh, after a while. Like they just turn green again, which is fine. I don't know. It seems like a lot of work to keep something alive that is just, I don't know, not that great. And it's the same with Araucaria, the Norfolk Island pine, just a notoriously difficult plant to take care of properly because humidity's a factor, watering's a factor. They stab the crap out of you because the inner trunk is very pokey. I don't know if you guys have ever had one. I've tried my luck with 3, I think, and they just don't. And again, my mom had a big one, probably like tall. It had to be 5 foot tall. I don't know how she kept it alive. And I don't know how well, because they're in a greenhouse, but I don't know how greenhouses sell them, like outside of the season. I don't know, it's just crazy. Hylocereus, that is the bottom, that is correct. That sounds familiar. Because when I heard that it was Hylocereus, that it was like the dragon fruit cactus, I thought that was kind of interesting. Of all things that they would graft a Gymnocalycium to, it's a Hylocereus. So, and there again, we have our Cereus, it's a column cactus, of course. That's what I'm saying, Dragonite. I was not expecting that either. And Usruff, there's another one, not a poinsettia, but there's another one that we sell during Christmas called a cyclamen. And cyclamen, I always thought had really pretty leaves, but they also don't really survive that long. Dragon fruit would be cool if you could get it to actually produce a fruit too. I mean, that would be impressive. Drago grew this from the produce aisle because he's real. So you have managed to get those to grow from the fruit, Dragonite? Like you've actually gotten a Hylocereus to produce? That's crazy. That's crazy. I love, you know what I love? I love that each of us are like a character of some sort of like weird plant Avengers. And Dragonite's the one that produces plants from the produce department in grocery stores. You know, Miss Betty, she's not here tonight, but she's our hydroponics lady. She always does. You know, she grows almost all of her plants hydroponically. I don't know what I am. I guess I'm whoever the leader of the Avengers is. But, well, the thing is too with some plants, and including dragon fruit, I'm sure that they have to be mature enough to produce fruit. Like my orange tree, my blood orange that I have out there, it's been doing well. It's got so much new growth on it, but it's not old enough to produce oranges yet. Maybe next year if I can keep it alive through the winter, which is going to be another debacle because I've never cared for citrus trees before. So I'm going to have it's going to be an interesting adventure to overwinter them and try to keep them going. Na, 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 na. Christian is the an anti-hero who's in party to keep the rest of us in check. I grow plants from seeds. Usually vegetables and flowers. Yeah. Well, and Usra, you live in the perfect place for that too. You could grow them outdoors. Yeah, Christian is the anti-hero, isn't he? You know, maybe it could be X-Men. I'm not huge into comics, but to me, maybe X-Men makes more sense because then I could be like Charles Xavier, like the leader. and Christian would be like Magneto, because wasn't Magneto like a good guy and then he was a bad guy? Like I think that would work. But um, let's see. Yeah. Also, totally off topic, I did grab my um, my agave just because it's doing pretty well. It's putting off like a lot of new growth and things. And if anybody likes echeverias, just forget echeveria, get an agave because it's shaped very similar to an echeveria, but look at how dangerous it is. Like these are so sharp, like they are as sharp as needles. And yeah, bag of needles. This is the one that I had in the drink compartment in the center console of the car, and it was in a bag. And Wes went to grab it, and he stabbed his hand on it. And he's like, "Why do you have a bag of needles in the car?" And I was like, "It's an agave." Lemon tree scheme. Oh wow, Leaf Year, you are growing stuff from the grocery store too. My lemon tree I bought already grown, but yeah. I do have some pear tree seeds. I don't know if I'll actually try to grow them, but I might plant them just to see if I can get them to germinate. Because there's a pear tree down the street from here, and I don't know if you guys have ever eaten like an actual pear, but they're kind of plain. I don't know. They're not. I wasn't that impressed. Who was here? Leaf here may have been here. Dragonite may have been here. Maybe Usruff was here when I tried a mango for the first time, and I think I tried it on the live stream, and I did not like that at all. I thought that was gross. Like, I don't know. Mango flavor is not bad, but the actual mango, ugh, I didn't like it. Ugh. Serrano peppers and hydro. I would be interested to see the final result that you had of that. Grew my pepper plants from dried chilies. Oh. Are you serious? You grew those from Domino's chili packets? That's crazy. Listen, there has never been an occasion for me to eat a mango. Like, it's just not the first fruit that I think to eat. Like, if I'm gonna eat a fruit, I'm like banana, apple, orange, something. But my friend in Argentina was like, "Oh, mangoes! I love mangoes. They're so good. And if you've never tried one, you should try it." And I'm like, "Okay, why not? The mango flavored things are good." But no, it wasn't good. I've never had dragon fruit. I'm kind of vanilla when it comes to trying new food. Actually, I'm a little picky, but I would try it. I'll try dragon fruit if we can find one. I'll try one. We could do it on the next stream. I don't mind. Now I'm going to start getting requests in the comments about, oh, try this food on this, try this food on this. I've had cantaloupe. I don't really like cantaloupe either. I would try it again though. It's been a long time since I tried it. I would give you hand. Oh, I would give you a hard time about that. That might be it, Dragonite. Like if I actually picked a mango like fresh, it may have tasted so much better. But of course, it was one I got in the grocery store. Struff, I'm not really sure what type of mango it was. It was just a green one that turns red as it kind of ripens. So I couldn't tell you what kind it was, but and it was orange on the inside. Mm. It's interesting if it does have zero flavor because there are things that are flavored like dragon fruit. So I wonder where they come up with the flavor. No, Dragonite, we're not gonna do that. Because he'll have me try all kinds of weird stuff that I'm not, not a fan of. Um, pomegranate, I had pomegranate in college because they had us try like different fruits. Pomegranate flavor is really good. Pomegranate, the fruit, is not, because I don't like big, crunchy seeds. That's one of my pickiest things. Blackberries, gross. Like, I don't like things that crunch like that in my mouth, so. Smaller type of mangoes are sweeter and softer. Then I should have gotten something like that, because this mango, well, you were there, like, this mango was like, I don't know, it was pretty big. What would, okay, what would you, I was waiting for somebody to say durian, because I know that durian is supposed to smell awful but taste good. I don't know, maybe good isn't the word for it, but yeah. So Dragonite, what are we gonna call that channel? What are we gonna call the, think of a creative name for it. Call it like Dylan's Delights or something weird. I don't know. Well, yeah. If anything, I would just like to smell one because I heard they smell so bad. And the better question is, what animal is going after that? What animal is going after a disgusting smelling fruit? I don't know. You can't have a good durian unless you get it fresh from Malaysia. The ones you find in Western countries are frozen, unripened. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, see, you should invest in finding one, Dragonite, just so you can try to grow it from a seed. Who knows? Maybe. I was gonna say something. It was related to fruit, and I don't remember what it was. That's okay. No, we're not doing that. We're not trying durian. No, thank you. No, no, not doing it. Not happening. No, sir. I remember. Speaking of fruits and like plants, right now in the US, there is a plant. I need to go find one. I'll do a short on it, but since you guys are already here, we'll talk about it for a second. There's a plant called an Osage orange tree. I don't know if you guys have heard of Osage oranges. Basically, the fruit is about that big. It's about the size of a tennis ball. It's the color of a tennis ball, but it's wrinkled. You know, it's really like wrinkly looking. And I don't think you can eat the fruit, or at least I don't think you're supposed to because some people can be allergic to it. But the weird thing about it is that they're not really sure what animals actually like that fruit. The theory is that the oranges may have been enjoyed by an animal that like is gone extinct, that went extinct a long time ago, but somehow the plant has continued to, you know, pass on its seeds to other things and still be able to survive. But typically when something like that happens, like if you have a tree that's tied to a specific, or a plant that's tied to a specific animal, if the animal goes extinct, the plant will usually go extinct too, but somehow it survived, so that's cool. But it's neat when you drive down the street right now because you'll see these trees that are just full of tennis balls. My next short will be about that because I need to go find one, but avocados are like this, yeah. Oh. Oh, I didn't know that about avocados. Well, that's why they're still around. Gotta have that guacamole. Same with ginkgo. We've talked about ginkgo. Those probably only survived because people were cultivating them for medicinal purposes, and now in the modern age we plant them, you know, because they're aesthetically pleasing. and we saved a whole phylum of plants from going extinct, which is really important. A pawpaw? I've never had a pawpaw. If you grow an avocado seed, the plant will not produce fruit. Huh. I hadn't heard that. It could be true though, but I'm not sure. Mm. I'm not even sure where I would get something more exotic like that. Like if you can't get it at a grocery store, I mean, can you order that kind of thing online? I guess you could, maybe. Oh, okay. Well, that explains it. Yeah. You know who else is missing? Sylv is missing. Sylvicus? Sylv is usually here. He might be here. Sometimes he's here and he doesn't say anything. But usually he chimes in with the answer when we can't find it. Oh, okay. So then then it would need to be further south, maybe like Oklahoma. I may have tried starfruit a long time ago, but again, it's been so long. And they're kind of hard to find here too. Oh, okay. The impressive thing when it comes to plants and like the growing zones, it's amazing if you just drive 2 or 3 hours south, how different the plants will be as far as how much longer they are in season. For example, Magnolia grandiflora, which is the magnolia that has the really gigantic white flower. I think I did a video on it, maybe like a short. If you just go a couple of hours south, they bloom so much sooner than when you're further north. I don't know. It's just that couple of degrees of latitude can make such a big difference. That's another one. Leaf year, that's a good one too. The Monstera deliciosa fruit. I don't know what the title of the fruit is, but I mean, it's called deliciosa for a reason. So I would love to find out. Also, another one would be the blue bananas. I don't know if you guys have seen those bananas that are blue. They're supposed to taste like vanilla ice cream. That would be amazing. But the problem with those is that they're endangered. Like that plant is endangered, so not cool. Hopefully somebody does something about that. But so that fruit is probably very expensive. People are gonna come in here right now and they're gonna be like, "This is a plant channel," and they're talking about fruit. But hey, fruit relative to plants. I have a feeling the deliciosa fruit has. Would they even have it in the southern U.S. though? That's the question. I mean, maybe in Florida. Maybe in Florida they might have. It's like somebody's like growing one and they get it to actually fruit. But I don't know. That's a good question. And I've not tasted a cacao fruit or cacao fruit. Sorry, cow. If you seriously ordered a durian, we're gonna have a problem. I'm not trying a durian. I'm not doing it. Yeah, which one did he order? If he ordered a deliciosa fruit, I'm down. But like, no, not all of them. Don't provoke him. Ugh, no. Freeze dried? Freeze dried. That's not like jerky. That'd be like astronaut ice cream. Isn't that freeze dried? Oh, well, if it tastes like candy, then okay, I'll try it. Astronaut durian, yeah. That's crazy that it's so expensive when you could go someplace like Malaysia, for instance, and just have them readily there. We need to go find blue bananas and Monstera deliciosa fruit because I want to try those. That would be a good video actually too. Well, don't you worry. When we get it in, we'll do it. We'll have a little taste session. Um, we can get a couple of different things. We could do that next time. I got to figure out before we wrap it up. I want to figure out what day might work the best to actually have consistent live streams every week. Because Wes and I are committing ourselves to being more active with this channel. Because I miss you guys and I miss hanging with you guys. So I want to make sure I'm consistent. I'm off Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Saturdays. Saturdays probably wouldn't work, but Tuesday or Wednesday nights, I think we could start doing a live stream every Tuesday or Wednesday. I'd give you a heads up, of course, beforehand, but especially Tuesdays are usually really good for me. Like Tuesday nights, I have nothing going on, thankfully. Yeah, Ashraf, I deserve that. I deserve that. The last one, actually, the last live we did was when I was having my colonoscopy. It was when I was doing my cleanse, which went really well, by the way. So that's good. Um, but yeah. Ooh. Boy, we were popping out videos left and right for a minute. Like it was like we were in front of the computer all the time doing editing on all of these plant care videos. But I think it paid off because I feel good knowing that people have kind of a comprehensive library that's not too muddled down with a bunch of other stuff. Um, because even when I started like checking my comments again, I noticed that I was getting comments on videos I made like 2 years ago. And to know that people are reaching out on the internet and looking to those videos to gain more knowledge and find help. For example, on Maranta, like somebody had made a comment on Maranta about that, and they had a story to tell and everything. So I don't know. It's nice to know that work is paying off and helping people. That's all I really wanted. Um, I with and no disrespect to other people who make plant channels, but I've just noticed that sometimes they put out videos that are just kind of for like no reason. And I just feel like if I'm gonna take the trouble to do a video and edit it and present it to you guys, I want it to be for something. I don't want it to be just like, oh, well, it's sunny outside today. How are you guys doing? Like, that's just kind of stupid. But I'm glad you like the live streams, Leafier. I love that you're always here to contribute, so thank you. And then next time, trying to hot bulldog ramen. Ooh, I don't even like regular ramen. Blech. For a long time, I was using an ancient version of Premiere Elements, but we are using DaVinci Resolve actually, and it's not the full version. It's like a kind of a, I don't know, not watered down, but it's just a more basic version of it. It does everything we need it to do. I mean, it does all the editing we need, because when you're just trying to like have like kind of a regular channel, you don't need a whole bunch of extra bells and whistles and things. Yeah, so it is nice. And of course, when I do my shorts, I actually like doing the shorts for you guys because that enables me to go out. Like I can be at a store or something, I can see a cool plant, I can reach you guys right then. I don't have to edit anything, and I can be up in a tree or something and we can be talking about plants. I think that's really cool. I forget who said they didn't like shorts. Maybe it was Christian. He's like, I don't like shorts, but I don't know. I think they're cool. Yes. Yes, Dragonite. I imagine that if you were really, really into video editing and you were doing stuff that was like professional and being sold places and you needed everything, I'm sure DaVinci Resolve is probably maybe one of the, you know, best. It's also got a really cool name. So, hype button and community post. I I think I've heard of those. I haven't explored either of those yet. I think I got that information in an email, and I'm like, let's just keep it simple for now. But yeah. Well, and the thing about that, Asraf, is that originally shorts could only be like 15 seconds, so they were very TikTok-esque. But now you can do 3 minutes, and like the nice thing about that 3 minutes is that I can show you guys cool things like a plant that I can find without actually having to bring it home and without just taking pictures of it and showing it in a video later. It's more like being on location. So I agree in the sense that I wouldn't want to just do shorts because that would be maybe a little boring, but it's definitely a useful, for example, I'm going to go maybe tomorrow and find that Osage orange tree and show you guys, and I'll do a short. So that's just, it's so much easier because I tried to use the full 3 minutes. Um, I want it to be enough that you guys enjoy it. I don't want it to be like, here it is, see ya. Like, yeah. But interestingly enough, I did notice like when Plantarina was still around, she would post like 30-minute videos, and people seem to love that. It's not worth doing something unless someone somewhere would know each other. You weren't doing it. Well, thank you, Dragonites. I really appreciate that. That's going to be gas money for the Osage Orange. And yes, Wes said a shout out for somebody bought a hoodie. We have a new store for there's some t-shirts on there, there's some hoodies and stuff on there just with the logo and some funny like designs that we found. Check it out, see if you guys like any of that. But somebody actually bought one of the hoodies, so whoever did, thank you. That means a lot. Wes is working on new designs. That is totally his baby. So anytime if you see something you like, that is all Wes. So be sure shout him out if you like any of that. You do need the full 3 minutes for the durian mukbang. Oh, well, Asraf, we'll do the durian thing. We'll do it on a live stream. I want you guys to see it happening in the moment when I try some of these things. Uh, because I think that's the most authentic experience. um, when you kind of get that, design. Stickers with the different hairstyles. Oh my gosh. That's actually pretty funny. Like having stickers that are like caricatures of me with my different hairstyles. Oh, this is the comb over era and this is the perm era. That's absurd. It's absurd, but it's hilarious. It's not such a random thing to be kind of known for on here, my hairstyles. There you go. We'll design some different plants that have my hairstyles. Now the next question is, what am I gonna do next? Maybe I'll just shave my head. Maybe I'll just buzz it all off. I wore my hair like that for a long time when I was a kid because I didn't want to have to style it, so I always kept it super duper short. I've noticed though at work when I do different things like that. Um, for example, when I got the perm, it was very mixed reactions. Like some people were like, "Oh wow, that's so different and unique," and blah 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 blah. And then some people were like, "You look weird." Like, wow, thanks. I appreciate your honesty. Yeah, my dad, Dragonite, my dad, he grew his hair. It wasn't all the way to his waist. It was probably halfway down his back when he finally cut it, and he always wore it in a ponytail. So I feel like if I did that, I would start to look a lot like him. The problem is that's so much maintenance. Ugh, I don't know how women do it. I don't know how women deal with that much hair all the time. So shout out to them because I don't like doing it. It does take a long time because your hair grows fast at first, but it reaches like a termination point where it starts to slow down a lot. So, yeah, well, too bad that I got rid of the curtains. Now we can't take that picture. The weird thing was that, I mean, I don't know how much you guys like keep up with this stuff, but like a lot of like people, a lot of guys were getting perms a couple years ago for whatever reason. I think because curly hair is a recessive trait, so people find that like subconsciously attractive when it's something recessive like blue eyes or curly hair. Um, and I just wanted to try it. Why not? And eventually it grew out and got really frizzy, and I'm like, forget this, I'm done. But it was really funny when I came home and Wes saw it because I didn't tell him I was gonna do it, and he was just like, "What did you do to your hair?" Oh, I should have made a tribute video for the curtains. That would have been nice. Socks with sandals drives me crazy. The whole point of sandals is that so that you know what I mean? Like, I mean, no offense to anybody that does that, but I'm just sometimes I see that and I'm like, why? I think Wes needs to start making dinner. Bane's Botanicals is getting hungry. No, 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 not Pizza Hut. I don't want Pizza Hut. No. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, in the 80s, it was women that were getting perms all the time. Like, they had those really, like, thick, like, all that thick hair. Oof. No, no, we're not calling the durian store either. We're not doing that. I have a thing of like scalloped potatoes in the fridge that just need to go in the oven. Like we could probably just have that. Yeah, rough. My friend, one of my friends at work, she has naturally curly hair, and I mean she's beautiful. Like she's just naturally pretty, and she straightens her hair sometimes when she goes out. Like if she goes out to dinner or something, she says it takes so long to do it that she never does it. I mean she looks great with straight hair too, but yeah, there would be times when she would come in maybe and it would just be so big. Like the humidity in the air maybe made her hair gigantic. Yeah. I wondered about that, Dragonite. I didn't know what your heritage was because I mean I've watched some of your videos. I need to go watch some more actually. Or if you do a live stream, I need to tune into it. Do you do live streams ever? very irregularly. Hey, high five. I know what you mean. What's the triangle that doesn't have any equal sides or angles? Scalene. We're like the scalene live video people. Also, I don't know if you guys look at the number of subs. We're at like 1.99. We're so close to 2,000. Not that 2,000 is like a big deal. It's not like a big threshold, but it would be cool to it'd be cool to pass that soon. Shaka Khan, yes. Ooh, that's going way back. Shaka Khan. We'll do something for 2K. Why not? We'll do something when we hit 2,000. It's coming up. The thing is, like, eat a real durian when we hit 10K. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, there you go. If we hit 10,000 subs, I will eat a durian, or at least try it, a real one. I'll drop the $400. I don't care. At 10,000, it'll be worth it. So get the word out there. Get people to subscribe, even if they don't like plants. Get them to subscribe. You know, if I could drive to Malaysia, I would. But since I would have to fly, that would be a no for me. I don't like flying. Flying is the reason I've never gone to Europe. But I know I need to get over my fear. So eventually, maybe next year, I'm gonna try to maybe fly someplace close, like the Bahamas or Mexico or something. Someplace where I can get over that fear, but I don't have to be on the plane for very long, maybe like 2 hours, 3 hours. But yeah. A tour bus would be amazing. Like if we had a tour bus, like how about how about how about if we hit 100,000 subs? I'll go buy a tour bus and we'll just go. I'll get all your all's information and I'm gonna come visit your all cities in this tour bus. And I'll have a bunch of plants in it and like we'll just have a big shindig. A Xana, yeah, well, that'll do it. You won't remember anything for a while. And thank you, Leaf Year. I mean, I need to check out Grow Folds because I think I watched one video and it's definitely, I mean, definitely quality work. I feel bad because I feel like mine's not that good, but maybe it is. I don't know. I just try to be real. I try to be authentic. You know, I try to not have too many frills, I guess, but 10,000 though, that'd be good. I'd be good with 10,000. I don't need a million subs. I don't need to be Plant Arena. Like I feel like that'd be a huge responsibility. There'd be so much going on, but I don't know about being a Karen. I'm usually pretty good. Like, I would be the one that you see like on a TV show that has a death grip on the seat, the handles or whatever, and they're just like white knuckling it, and they're just freaking terrified of like the crashing. But you could do like a visit every botanical garden in the country trip. You're bound to run into all of us in North America eventually that way. Yeah, that's true. That would be, you could almost, let's just fantasize for a second. You could almost put out like a tour sheet like artists do, where they're like, I'm going to be in this city on this date, and this city on this date, and this city on this date. That'd be cool. Bane's Botanicals Tour 2026. Well, it probably won't be 26, but yeah. Coming to a botanical garden near you. Bring your plants. better start cooking. D197 is okay, D24 is better. I didn't click on that link. I guess I could to see what you guys are looking at. Oh, it just opened up a... Oh yeah, buttery and aromatic. That's a nice way of saying smelly. That's crazy. Ugh. Whatever. Yeah, that's that's kind of what I was saying, like aromatic, but 10,000. I'll do it. I'm ready. But what am I gonna do for 2,000? I'll come up with something. I'll come up with something. Because for 1,000, I think we did like a little bit of a retrospective. I think 1,000 is when I showed you guys like all the old pictures and stuff and kind of talked a little bit more about that. We'll do something different for 2,000 though. Are we there yet? Did anybody else subscribe during this live stream? Probably not. A vigorous exothermic reaction, yeah. That's the nice way of putting it, right? Yeah. Fear factor, yeah. 1,998, that's crazy. That's so close. I'm losing my voice, but it's okay. 2 away. We're so close. We will get that tomorrow probably. So we'll do the Osage Orange short tomorrow, and then we'll have a video of something for Friday, and then we'll do another live stream Tuesday. But I'll figure out some sort of commemorative thing we can do for 2,000. I'll put out a little bit more notice next time too. I know this was kind of short notice. Like I just announced this, last night. So that's probably why some of our people aren't here tonight. But I think we still had a pretty good amount of people coming and going. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be great, but it'll be worth it for 10,000 subs. I can't believe I agreed to this. That's okay. $8,000. Oh well, he's gonna be working on that for a while. You better get down here and put those potatoes in the oven. I'm hungry. So what do you think? Somebody call out one more plan that we can look at before we wrap it up. Because he's gonna come down here and put those potatoes in the oven because I'm hungry. Call out a plant, call out a plant, call out a plant. You have to eat some too though.
What?
You have to eat some too though.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't still have the maiden hair. It got a pretty good size in the little terrarium I had that my roaches are now in. But it just, no. Maidenhair ferns are so difficult to take care of. Like, it's just, that's expert tier. Maybe not as hard as like carnivorous plants, but like it's not things. But like a plant cabinet, like you were talking about earlier, a plant cabinet would be perfect. Yeah, they're gorgeous. I mean, they're one of the prettiest ferns actually that there are, but they're just, that's just how it goes. Sometimes things that are really pretty come at a price. Come at a price, I guess. Yeah, the only actually fern I still have is the asplenium, the bird's nest. And I've been through a few. Yeah, and the crazy thing is that ferns are pretty long lived. If you can keep them alive, like they actually live a long time. Especially if you start propagating by division, which is what you would do with ferns because they have the rhizome. If you start splitting them up and things, it's yeah, they'll pretty much go on forever. Yeah, Dragonite, I don't know. I wouldn't waste your money. But if you did want to try one, Asplenium is a great one. But it's always fun to experiment. I like to experiment. Like, if I see something I've never had before, I'll usually just try it out. But I've bought most of the common things and did videos on them, so. This one was getting close. Like, it was getting some brown on it, and I considered getting rid of it, but then I'm like, once I trimmed it up a bit, I don't know. I like it. It's still healthy. It's still going, and the fact that it's still alive is kind of a miracle. But so, Adiantum, Maidenhair Fern was a bust. Give me another one. Shout me out another one. Adiantum. Sometimes, sometimes I think to myself, this is like fun. Yeah, yeah. There's actually a really pretty plant. I forget what it's called, but it looks like butterflies. The leaves do, but they're so dainty. I know that it would just die. Crocodile fern does look hardy. I don't remember what genus it's in. Is that also a splenium, maybe? But yeah, crocodile fern, I don't know. Let me just grab a random one. How about this one? Put you back here. This is my Vricea. This is a bromeliad. The genus is Vricea. And I was doing some research on bromeliads. I forget who really likes, I think it's Christian that likes bromeliads. I had a cryptanthus for a while. I wasn't really impressed by it. It just kind of looked dead, which was how it was supposed to look. You know, that's them. So I kind of did some research and I liked the idea of Rosea. So here it is. I think it looks a little like a pineapple, I guess, but I as a plant, I kind of like the coloration on the inside of the leaves and everything, and it's gotten taller since I got it. I don't actually want it to flower because I don't want the mother plant to die. So far it hasn't shown any signs of flowering, which is good. But yeah, if you guys have never tried bromeliads before, this is a good one. It hasn't been real finicky or anything. Haven't lost any leaves on it. Haven't had any browning or anything. It's been pretty solid. I'm not even sure if it's real actually, because it's just been so reliable. Well, Begonia Rex, I mean, Begonia Rex are hard to take care of. I mean, you can. It's not like they're impossible, but they just, the certain colorations, you know, you have a hard time with light. and humidity and the watering, it's not great. Well, yeah, I guess where you live, it would be tough. Like the climate would be a lot harder to have those. I'm trying to think if there was another. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys these two Aglaonemas I have. This was when I kind of got on my Aglaonema kick a little bit, but these are a couple of different ones I have, and I just really like I said earlier, I don't really like the colorful Aglaonemas. I like the ones that are green, that have like the silver variegation. Oh, look at that. It's a little leaf that just needs to come off of there. But yeah, neither of these have flowered yet, but I have a third one. I have a Maria. This Maria actually did flower, and there's the flower that's kind of expired. But Maria has longer leaves, a little bit more subtle of a variegation pattern as well, but also just kind of a nicely shaped plant, I think. Kind of a nice little addition. I'll put you back. Wow. Well, if nobody has anything else, I think we're probably gonna wrap it up. He's got dinner in the oven, so I'm ready to eat and take a shower and stay up for another 3 or 4 hours. Uh, but yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It was really good to see you guys again. Asraf, Leafier, Dragonite, everybody else that showed up. Thank you. Obviously, your support always means a lot to me. We're always gonna have our X-Men, X-women. That's true though. They do kind of look like, they do look a little vegetable-like, but I don't know. I still like them. But yeah, like I said, I kind of told you guys some stuff that's coming up, so just look forward to that. And yeah, we'll do another one of these next Tuesday around the same time, just because I'm off work, and that kind of, works best if you guys can hang out with me in the evening. So yeah, I promise I'm not gonna disappear unless I go through another house renovation. No, Asraf, next Tuesday, not next year Tuesday, I promise. Next Tuesday. Yes, and shout out to Wes for helping me and for keeping everything going in the background. So thank you guys again, and until the next one, I'll see you soon. Thank you. Well, no, not October 7th of 2026. You guys, I'm gonna go cry.